There's a reason why I could never work for a big brand at the time. I always was too opinionated to be in a circle that was too hierarchized for me.
When I talk to young designers and they are not able to express themselves, I'm like, you have a minute with Anna Wintour.
I sassed Anna Wintour. She was like, yeah.
Say more. What is that story that you want to tell with your brand?
I'm trying not to tell too much of a story and let the product speak for itself.
They should be able to communicate on their own.
Exactly. Like a beautiful piece sometimes is just enough.
There are just some designers that feel like lightning in a bottle. Burc Akyol is without a doubt one of those. Burc launched his namesake label in 2019. His work speaks in a fluent, sensual language, fluid silhouettes, razor-sharp tailoring, and a near-couture level of craftsmanship. Burc isn't designing clothing, he's crafting a new kind of bold elegance for a new generation. Where do you see fashion heading?
Can we just say it? It's all gone. It's like, it is.
How do you get that spark?
You have to be moved by something. So it will spark in you the intention, because we're pretty lazy designers. We're hardworking people, but when it gets to like getting it out there, it's kind of a torture.
It's really easy to do your first fashion show, your first 3. It's once you get past the third.
People think you're making money and you're not.
I am so excited to finally sit down with you and have a conversation.
excited.
Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So the word of the day, or the word of your brand, seems to be exceptional or exception.
Yes.
Unpack that for me. Why is this your North Star in terms of branding, storytelling?
It's because of the time I launched the brand and everything that I was a designer. I used to work for different brands, and at the moment where a beautiful brand I was working for was like, we need to be doing sweatshirts and t-shirts because everybody's doing that. I was like, whoa, there's something wrong in there.
Wow.
I don't think we're all meant to check all these, boxes at an early stage. And to be fair, the surroundings and, the time was so normalized that I was like, I'm missing excitement when I go shopping for myself. I could literally afford a few pieces a year, and those meant to be, exceptional, but they weren't. They were like just blah, and I wasn't into that. So when I decided to launch my brand, it was really because I wanted to get excited about my job again, I think, about designing. And I was scared. I was like, where is our work going? What is my métier becoming, So yeah, exceptional came from there. This idea of added soul to a piece, a designed piece.
An actually designed piece?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you do talk about, another thing that you talk about is this idea of being close to couture. So is this an extension of the exceptional? Tell me more about how you're unpacking this idea of the...
It's close to couture because it's not made to measure, but the techniques are the same. This idea of, preserving what we do. My father was a tailor, okay? So I learned with him, and then with the houses that I worked for, I was lucky enough to go, to start at Dior at the time of John Galliano. That wasn't too bad. And the things
you could do worse,
yeah,
yes.
you could do worse. But the things that you see at that time when you, visit the ateliers and work with them, you're like, wow, this is so precious, and it's what we're meant to be doing. And this idea of, close to couture just kind of came on itself. People started giving me that tag. I'd never said that what I'm doing is couture. But yes, if you look at the whole paysage of what's happening in fashion, I guess we are, because we're taking time to do pieces in like how they're supposed to be. Yeah, so I guess, the tag is there.
Well, I mean, I don't think there's any better knee to sit at than, well, maybe other than your father, than at John Galliano. And I know you also worked a little bit at Balenciaga as well. Yes. Can you talk about what you took away from those two or moments in your career that you've folded into your own line?
It's huge brands, It's like there's a lot of people, so you take a little bit from everyone that you meet. Like the senior designers that I met there and that I assisted were amazing people, very talented and demure. Because you have to be. There's a reason why I could never work for a big brand at the time as a designer, is because I was too loud. I could never shut up, and I always was too opinionated to be in a circle that was too hierarchized for me. I didn't know that as an assistant, you had to first speak to your senior designer and then let them speak to the creative director. I was like, hey, let's do that. Let's solve the situation like this. It's not how it's meant to be. And I respect that. So I had to learn very fast. So I guess I learned the process from those senior designers and people that I really respected, the coordination aspect, when to do what. And then from people like John Galliano, John is like conversational. He will set an idea, a picture in your mind. And just like the way he spoke to the senior designers was like, so she's there, she's having this drink, she's talking to these people. What's happening? What's the next moment? And this pocket is not living enough. What do we do about it? It's like these little glimpses into his universe that will make you work harder to find the answer, because he always like kind of finished a brief with, I don't know. So that was your,
and dot,
cue
dot, dot.
to go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which was very interesting because it gave freedom, I think, to himself to kind of be surprised with what was going to go on in the collection. And I kind of am inspired by that and, put it into my work process as well. I like to be surprised by the collection.
You want your collections to surprise you?
Yeah, while we work on it, the fittings, the unraveling of the design.
I love that term, unraveling of the design.
It's
That's
like
really nice.
you're meeting the collection, no? Otherwise, it's just like an Excel chart.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. I think Lee and John were such amazing storytellers with fashion.
Yeah.
Like there's so much fashion in the world, but that was another level. And this ability to tell stories, I think, has gotten lost. I think we're seeing a little bit of it come back. What is that story that you want to tell with your brand? What is the narrative? I mean, I know that each collection is its own story, but...
I mean, they're very kind of personal and autobiographical in a way. But what's funny is I'm trying not to tell too much of a story and let the product speak also for itself. There's one thing that I find very important is that when you're not there to explain the story and there's no sales assistant on the floor to be met, because that happens a lot.
Yes.
Well, if the product doesn't attract you and you don't look good in it and you don't want to go home with it, then you kind of missed on the job that you're, supposed to be doing.
They should be able to stand on their own. They should be able to communicate on their own.
Exactly. Like a beautiful piece sometimes is just, enough. Designed, thought of, but beautiful on itself. Like the reason why we dress is very important to me. It can be multiple, but like usually it's to present well. I don't know of anyone who actually dresses to or will put that amount of money in a piece and say like, I decided to wear this because I wanted to look bad. No, that doesn't
Not
happen.
intentionally in any case. Yeah, for sure.
It's, I think it's first that, but the storytelling, if I wanted anyone to go home with something from me, is I wanted anything that, is personal to me, that kind of made me mad at that moment, like politically.
Really?
Made me cry at a theater, made me emotional, made me laugh, to go into creatively building a silhouette. Okay. I take from everything that I see and I turn it into my own message. It's only reinterpretation. It's only paying it forward. You get inspired by something, you kind of reinterpret that into something that you are saying about it. It's like this, I always say it's like kind of a common dictionary and we're adding words to it. Fashion is kind of how I see us all working in. It's this lexicon that I'm saying blue and then someone will add an alinea and it's going to be another, aspect of that blue. I like that idea. We're all working together.
Yeah, you building up the story together as a global narrative about fashion. You talked about, something that made you emotional or something political or something that you saw. I've talked to different designers. They all have their methodology. Some people it's the mood board. Some people it's the fabric and the draping. Some people it is that event that inspires them, or they travel somewhere and then they're all inspired by Africa or India or whatever. Talk to me about your process. Is it the mood board? How do you get that spark, creatively speaking? If you like this conversation, well, then you clearly have got good taste. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, and share the love. Because honestly, who wouldn't want a front row seat to fashion's best stories?
First, it's about me getting moved by something. Because it's very hard to start, like, like a robot trying to design anything. That part is usually something that you're starting with because you have to kind of respect the schedule. Doesn't really work. You have to be moved by something. So it will spark in you the intention, because we're pretty lazy on designers. Like, we're hardworking people, but when it gets to like fusing into our creativity and getting it out there, it's kind of a torture. I will say that it's like writing, like that blank page is with you all the time. And to get you to apply everything that you've lived within a certain span of time to the work is always kind of a moment. But there's always something that happens that clicks, that, you know, kind of the puzzle is finally on and put together. So that's the first part, and you'll have intention. Once intention is there, the rest is like translation to the team. So mood board is there for that. It's like the images that you've seen and you want to put together on a wall so that you don't forget that you have to tell your team that we need to start with this piece and then that piece and then this idea there, the color. So I see tools like sketching and everything as translation to the team that has to work with you.
Okay.
I could design the collection in my head and it could stay there. It would be fully the picture that you see at the end. But we need to make it 3D, and that's like the process part.
Okay.
I will put together images that I've collected throughout, you know, that sparked something. And usually you find out at the end that it's all coming together for some reason. And that was the same reason that made you like finally start. It's so weird.
That's
it's always the same thing. Like I can give you a very concrete example.
Yes,
when
please.
I went to New York for my friend Rachel Scott, a designer of Diotima, so talented, amazing designer. She was getting married to her wife, Shade, and we were invited. And I was traveling with my then boyfriend. Well, he was already my husband for like a few days before. Going to a wedding on a plane, doing this business plan on like a tray on my computer while he was watching movies and having a good time, and me being like working and getting, married to him and going to another marriage that sparked this thing. And I was watching Nan Golden's documentary, which was amazing. I forget the name now, but I was like, I am trapped. I am trapped into this feeling that there can never be another me. And that's commitment, right? But there's also beautiful things about commitment. That's how I'm with my boyfriend, like with my husband for 12 years. Like all those vulnerabilities that it creates in you become your, you know, decoration, your embroidery. And that all sparked my intention for the collection. It was going to be about commitment, how it takes away the possibilities of you, but also brings out what's best.
Yeah.
Fraying beauty.
love. One of the cornerstones in your work, a signature already, is this idea of transparency, of making the skin part of the narrative of the clothing. Why is that so important to you? And then is it at all limiting? I mean, do people have a reaction to it, or not?
Transparency. It's funny. You do things and then you realize all of a sudden people like perceive it as, you know, codes in you. Yeah. I just love it. It's just, I love wearing it. I love being in transparent clothes. And it just meant, you know, it's like this, it's a bit Isabelle Huppert. It's like, I'm naked, but you can't touch me feeling. I love the distance and the sensitive and the, how could I say? You're flirting, but you're untouchable. You're giving desire, but it's not for you. It's like this limit. It's very empowering because you're in control of the, you know, the seducing. You're in control of where the other person can come. It's territorial. Transparency is territorial. Yeah, I think that's what I like about it. It's sexy without being too much.
Well, that was kind of what I wanted to ask you. Do you find it sexy, or is it sensual, or is it both?
It can be both. I mean, sensual and sexy at the end. Sensual is this word that people who don't want to have the tag sexy use. And I'm like, you know, if it's sexy, it's sexy. Yeah. If it's enticing, it's sexy. It's the sensuality part is just you not willing to go all the way, and that's fine. You know,
you'll get there in the end.
Exactly, if you want to. You know? It's just like we can be sexy without you know having to offer ourselves. It's your power, and transparency gives you that control. It's, you know, it's also it's still so subversive. I don't understand why. And you were asking, has it been a problem? It's a problem when I'm kind of playing with, my own heritage codes. Like I come from a Turkish family. So of course there's, you can do the quick translation into Muslim. And when I do a burqa, which is a burqa but transparent, like literally a pun in the word, then it becomes tricky. But I like that. It's supposed to make people talk. It's supposed to push the dialogue. Because when I was in middle school, my sister was wearing all these low jeans and very, very low waisted. And I remember the school teachers calling my parents in to be like, "Oh, your daughter dresses too provocatively." I was like, "We're Muslims, like supposed to be Muslims, and you're like, my sister is wearing clothes that are too out there and too sexy." And I can get that it can be offensive, but pick your battles. What is it? You'd rather her be like
completely covered? Yeah.
Why do we always have to talk about what women wear? Can we just stop doing that? And that was a woman saying that. I was like, can you just let her be? Like, she's experimenting with her limits. She's trying to find out who she is. And I find that very, very interesting and also infuriating. And I'm always talking about this women's sovereignty, over their own choices. It's a very important topic for me. And I'm still learning myself about that. I'm still learning where the limits that I even can do as a male designer in that field.
Why is this an important topic for you?
Because I've grown with women and I've grown with like people trying to impose values on me, very, I would say, masculine values on me. I wasn't always agreeing with them, and I'm trying to decompose those and to deconstruct that narrative and that those thoughts. I don't think they're right. I'm always amazed by women who are actually opinionated and have something to say. They all do. It's just that sometimes we don't let them.
Very true. Very, very true. You do have some amazing, powerful women who have been drawn to your brand. Do you find that the women that are drawn to your brand are these women who speak their voice, that are really out there in the world, that, suffer no fools?
Oh, I think so. First one to ever wear, it was a metal bra with my hands. So it was a very sculptural piece, and that was Cardi B. Those metal hands were made exactly for this. It was inspired by Janet Jackson's, the cover of Rolling Stone with her husband holding her boobs and the untied jeans and Mariah Carey, the cut jeans and everything. That was that whole time. And Janet Jackson says in this interview for Rolling Stone magazine that she did that album to reconcile her Black women identity with a sexualized identity. She was getting rid of everything that didn't let her be a sexualized human being. What does that mean? Like, pleasure is allowed.
Yes.
And she finally knew it. So I was like, and at that time there was all this, then she had the nipple gate, and then there was all the, Instagram not allowing you to show boobs and nipples. I was like, can we, again, like, if we're not allowed to show them, then let's just like embrace them with like a gentle touch, a gentle gesture. And that her husband was the person holding her breasts in that picture felt like a love gesture. So this is why the metal hands are there. They're cold. They're not that, they're not pressing the boobs. It's not a sexual thing. It's just like, it's a bit Cocteau. There's a picture of Cocteau with Paloma Picasso doing that too. It's like, I'm going to help you.
Yeah, a little soutien. Yeah. A little support.
Exactly. Soutien-gorge.
Soutien-gorge. Voilà. Exactly. That's exactly right.
So Cardi B was like, I think, is the same kind of person. She's very open about her, body, her voice, her everything that she is. And I think we need more of that, because she's not classy. She's just her way of being classy. And I think that plurality and the definitions that we have has to kind of like take shape with us designers, because otherwise we're going to be stuck in what this 50s idea of haute couture is.
Well, talk to me about that. As a young designer, couture just happened. Cardi was in town for that. Where do you see fashion heading? Do you feel it's getting more constricted? Do you feel there's a breath of fresh air?
It's so conservative. It is, because, I mean, we're in a time where, can we just say it? It's all gone to shit. It's like, it is.
It's intense, yes.
what I take from this is it's always this repeated story where in those times, people tend to be more conservative about their values. They're really afraid that the walls are going to fall down. So we're trying to put pillars everywhere so that, we can maintain that roof up. Those pillars tend to be, time proof. And some of them are interesting. Some of them we should keep, but some are just like very Western, white, male captioned.
Yeah.
And the issue with that is usually the surroundings get very, very boring, and the clothes become very, very boring, and they apply to literally the brief sometimes, is she needs to be able to go to work with this. And I'm like, which work? Which women are we talking about? They are so plural. Which one are we exactly catering to? Because if I cater to one, then I'm losing the other one. So it's very tricky to balance your creativity with what you have to offer. And I want to be able to offer those moments in my collection.
But when you talk about the women that you want to cater to, you can't cater to everyone. Then you dilute your creativity because you're trying. So who are you trying to cater to then?
Actually, I'm not. I'm just trying to say, like, this is what my point of view of beauty. Okay. This is my point of view of what, I think you'll look beautiful in. And
if you like it, join me.
Exactly. It's an invitation rather than an imposition. And I like that, Burc Akyol as a world is an idea of how to live your life. I want to go into furniture, and at some point I want to do a candle for you. I want to help you curate your life. Like, that would be amazing. Because dressing is something that you do for a whole écran, a whole moment in your, This is why we're talking about exceptional pieces for exceptional moments for exceptional people. What does that say? It says we're creating all this exceptional for you to become this exceptional. You are exceptional, and I want to enhance that. That's all the aim behind Burc Akyol.
Wow. Okay. Taking a step back to your father, who's a tailor. So then, was it always the dream to work in this industry? Was it always?
I don't know.
No. Like, why would anyone dream to be a designer today?
First of all, how can you dream about being a designer because you don't know what being a designer is? We're seldom in an environment where we know designers. Most famous designers come from actually very modest backgrounds, I can take the example of John Galliano, Lee. McQueen, Raf Simons, then some come, like even Versace. His mother was a tailor too, and a seamstress. So, we come from a world where we're exposed. The projection that we have is quite limited. It's like I could see my father doing my father's work was very. When I say he's a tailor, sometimes it's like I wasn't a tailor.
Really,
and I have to explain why. He was a sociology student in Turkey. He got married to my mom and came here because there was no work for him. His diplomas weren't recognized, and he had to find a job, to sustain his family. And the only work that was available in around him, was stitching, clothes and making clothes. And that job got in his hand because there was a lot of other Turkish guys, friends who were doing the same job. And there was an agent coming here and, dividing you take this and you take this. And then he was somehow good at it. And he became good at it. That's how he got into...
So he kind of fell into it.
Exactly. So, but his atelier was my childhood bedroom. And I could see him. And I learned how to do that because it was just a family moment, Saturdays, evenings in front of TV.
A way to connect with him, maybe, yeah?
I don't know if when you're 4, do you really look to connect with your... It was
maybe
just
not at 4.
Family, yeah. It was a family thing. We were just sitting around, just mending clothes because we couldn't afford so many. And then he was making his coat and I saw that he was proud to wear it. And I was, I'm going to start making clothes for my sisters. And it was the reason why I wanted to do that was because I was dressing them to feature in a video clip that I was directing. So that's the extent of it.
So you actually were creating the outfits because you wanted to maybe work in film, or
I wanted to be an actress. That's the whole story. And I couldn't be the actress, so I had my sisters be the actresses.
Vicariously, gotcha.
It was just and then I went into theater school, and at the same time as I was studying, and I did that for 6 years because I really wanted to be on stage. But then I discovered that being on stage wasn't enough because I was going to be this puppet. I was interested in, changing the words. I was interested in the outfits that we were going to wear. And I was like, if we're going to do faux, let's do it today. Like, how would we look? Like, King Lear is interesting today also. Like, how can we update that? And, the director at the time was looking at me and being like, Burc, this is not your job. And I was like, oh, one more thing that I cannot do. So I decided that maybe it wasn't for me. And fashion became, through looking at, documentaries and fashion shows, understanding that there was a mind behind it saying yes or no, because it's a whole team effort. But at the end, there must be someone who says, yes or no. That job was interesting for me because it looked like someone who could actually put their nose into all these aspects of the creative, job.
Process, yeah.
So there I was. I discovered that.
So it sounds like you're not somebody who takes no for an answer. It sounds like
not really.
Not very much. Okay.
I don't know. It's not an offensive thing. It's just like, let's find a way around it thing. It's like, I believe in something.
Yeah.
So.
Driven. So I believe you started officially, you showed your first show end of 2019, correct? Under your own brand.
Wow, it's the 9th now. So I think it was in my courtyard. So it would be that. It was for our 4th collection already. We had, actually that would be 2020, I think. Because we did 4 collections, only lookbooks, because it was COVID time.
Well, this is when I say, like, to launch your brand during COVID time.
It wasn't during.
Okay.
So
tell me more.
What happened is I took a year to prepare the launch of my brand.
Okay.
Met with my suppliers, met with my factories to make sure that they would accept my terms of prices, the minimums that I would be able to provide at the beginning, to make sure that they would support and follow. So that was a whole preparation. It was people I had worked with, for 10, 15 years. And it meant going to see them, explaining the project, motivating them to take on a new young designer who might not be able to pay at the end, but like 3 months later, things like that. You have to set your beginnings to make sure that you have the solid ground in terms
the foundation.
of business. And then it was just like, designing the collection, doubting a lot, and then finally shooting it and being like, okay, we'll present it and sell. That was a month before the first confinement. So we didn't hear about COVID then. Oof. There was no COVID in the picture.
Yeah.
I had Neiman Marcus come. They fell in love with the collection, wanted to place an order. And then the day I received the order, I was starting to prepare like fabric purchases, blah, blah, blah. The next day, I hear that there's this thing going on in the world and it's a confinement moment and nothing's going to happen. And I was like, okay, so let's try to navigate that. Canceled the order because we couldn't.
I was going to say, like, did they cancel? Because I know a lot of brands, a lot of, different stores canceled multiple.
They had to because they were also going through, that moment where they were being fine. You just have to understand how you can navigate that. I was lucky that we already had all the fabrics for the next collection. And I could Uber some fabrics to my partner and I could work from home. And the whole mindset behind the business plan I had is I'm only going to make pieces that I can actually stitch myself, because if ever something happens and I don't have the money to, pay people, blah, 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 at least I'll do things that I can do. So that's what we did. We put out the second collection with the fabrics that we had. And it was a moment where there was nothing going on because everybody had shut down. That shone light on us young designers.
That was an opportunity for you.
That was a huge opportunity.
Okay.
I'm so happy that I didn't let go. I mean, I don't think that's my character, but it could have been. And then maybe we'd have, missed that opportunity. Cardi B happened because of that. We launched and, people were not seeing anything new for a whole long time. And then the stylist came in contact with us and was like, can you send that to LA? I was like, can you pay for the shipment?
And then no problem. Oh my goodness. So that was definitely a watershed moment, that Cardi B moment, for sure. That's interesting that COVID was such an actual bonus for you. Did it make you more nimble? Did it change other ways in how you've moved forward with your brand?
Not really.
Okay.
I really stick to first instincts. And I'm an intuitive person. So it was more of how do you navigate this, crisis come and go.
Yes.
It's that's such a royal thing to say. Crisis come and go.
Yeah.
You're like, yes, you just have to stay strong and you have to take it day by day at that moment, but not forget the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is we need to put out a collection. We need to find ways of people seeing it. It's a lot of emailing. It's a lot of, we don't have another platform than social media. And thank God for social media. Can you imagine if it were like 20 years ago when there was no Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you decide to put your collection
Yes,
out
I was there. I remember it. It was very hard. Yeah.
It was completely, my first attempt to launching my brand, I was 25, I think.
That's interesting. So I want to ask about that because it's something I always tell young designers, I'm like, go make your mistakes somewhere else. Like go to another brand, do it somewhere else. Don't learn. Learn under the bubble of protection of somewhere else.
I decided to launch my brand when I was ready. I knew enough to face the unknown, I always say. Like you have to have a baggage and then you also have to know, and that's something I discovered. So peekaboo. It's everything you think you know about your job is going to be like falling scatters because it's not the job that you were doing as a senior designer or as a designer somewhere. It's completely something else. Your job as someone building their brand is closer to an entrepreneur's than to a designer's. As a designer for somebody else, you don't have to think of the accounting. You don't have to think of when I pay what in what time so that my treasury stays afloat. You don't have to think of being ready for your production. Someone else does that for you. So I was lucky that I was working for a startup and I could see maybe like, let's say 50% of what I'm doing today.
Okay.
But then I was also lucky that my ex-boss, Esteban Cortazar, was very...
Really? Esteban? I didn't know that.
I worked for him for 5 years.
Oh my goodness.
He's an amazing designer and he's also an amazing person. He was so generous with his path, his knowledge, his sharing information.
Being that mentor for you, it sounds like. Yeah.
And he still is. And, being able to work with him hand in hand with everything and him not being aloof, enabled me to understand a little bit of what was going to happen to me. And I could take it from there.
Okay.
So, work for somebody else first, understand. And different sizes of brands too, because that's also how you understand where you can be as a person, happy as a person. Are you going to be happy with a startup? Not everybody is meant for that kind of,
very true.
Structure. It's very lonely. It's very savage because you have to learn to be savage. You have to learn to not take no as an answer. You have to learn to ask for free work. That's a lot of what you do. I always say my biggest talent is convincing people to work for free.
Well, this is one of the things that I'll always remember that Dries van Noten told me. He's like, it's really easy to do your first fashion show, your first 3. It's once you get past the 3rd, when you've used all your favors and all of your friends and all your models and all that, it's when you get to, the 4th season or the 5th season, that's where the
because people think you're making money and you're not. Literally everything I earn goes back into the next collection and paying the production for my orders, and then that's so not inspiring. But it's the truth.
But it's real.
Yeah,
it's real. It's not sexy. As sexy as your clothes are.
Exactly. I'm not my client. People tend to forget that. But it's interesting because some people understand that and will stick with you the time that it requires because they probably also understand that maybe this project is not the breadwinner for them, but it's a project that is so creative and so it's a window to what they can do with less that will then, make them get bigger jobs that are paid very well. I am not paid by what I do. I invest what I get.
Are you 100% on your own brand, or are you doing something else to consulting, but keep the lights on, as it were?
That's not for me. Like, I'm lucky that my husband can pay the rent, and that he literally gives me 500 euros every month so that I can, because I don't have government help anymore. So that's how we get by, and that's enough. I don't need money. I need to be surrounded by money. That's completely different.
Interesting. Okay. Speaking of money. LVMH 2023.
Yeah, I didn't get money from that.
No, but
was a finalist.
but you were a finalist,
Yes.
which leads to, but so how did that process? And then, of course, we're going to talk about Andam because that's wonderful news. What was the LVMH process? How did that affect you? Did you learn from that? Is it just about getting your name out there? Is there more to it than that? I mean,
Oh, no. I said that I didn't get money from that, but it's not true because that's how we started selling. That's how we started our wholesale business. LVMH Prize is probably the best window a brand can get, as an early or build stage, whatever. Like you have to be under 39 to apply.
Yeah.
That's the only rule.
Yeah.
It was such a beautiful experience. First of all, I still have very close friends from that community.
Okay.
Rachel Scott, met her there. I hugely admire Aaron Ash, another designer that I met there. Some good friendships.
Do you have like a WhatsApp group that you all like compare
We
notes?
had, and then we edited. I'm kidding because everybody was nice, but of course you develop like affinities, and Rachel is today one of my.
You were at her wedding,
Yeah. I consider her a true friend. We can speak about things that are dirty together, like job-wise and sexy-wise.
Okay.
And that's good base for friendship. LVMH is like you're in a room for the semifinals and you meet the 200, 500 most important people in the business industry, in our industry today.
Yes.
And they vote for us to get into the finals. But even if you don't go there, you've met those people. So it's about you to nurture those relationships you've created and to be woke by the time that you're in that room and for the 2 days that you have there to be as present as possible. Because you're pitching literally every 5 seconds to someone
tell me
different.
about that because when I talk to young designers and they are not able to express themselves, I'm like, you have 2 minutes, a minute with Anna Wintour and you're not able to tell your story in that minute. Like you've lost such a...
I sassed Anna Wintour. She was like,
say more.
She has like a few minutes to spend with each of us, of course, and she does that like wonderfully because she's fully present at that time too, and she's very witty.
She is,
and she was commenting on her last comment was about like this metal foot helmet that I had then, and she's like, "Oh, would you wear that?" I was like, "Invite me to the Met and you'll see." Of course, I would wear that, and to an occasion. It's that thing where if you understand that this is a moment for you to actually meet people, which means not being a robot, not repeating, but accepting that there's a dialogue going on and that your tone is going to change with
how they come to you.
Exactly. And it's a dialogue.
Yeah.
So it's not something pre-built. It's something that you're making happen.
Well, talk to me. Okay, so Anna, of course, iconic moment, but was that the first time you met her? Just a question. Yeah. Okay. Other than that, do you have a recollection of another amazing meet cute moment?
Fabien Baron, one of the best creative directors that we have in our days, like Interview Magazine with his tenure, or Harper's Bazaar at the time of Liz Tilbury,
Liz.
Paolo Roversi. I don't know, there's so many good shoots. He complimented my artistic direction on how I laid the logo on. I was like, okay, I can die now. Suzanne Colleur. There are so many people that you meet, like Sydney Toledano, who's an amazing mentor, even like through a 5-minute conversation. Because you know why? Because meeting those people, you have to be up to the challenge. You're meeting them maybe once in your life, and you kind of want to prove to them that there's a conversation that can be had. It helps you gather all your energy, all your knowledge in a moment of high intensity and deliver it with ease and with like a nice conversation.
Yeah.
Forget the nonchalance. If you're like this, it's fine. It's like, if you're shaking to your bones, that gives you brutality. That gives you strength and honesty. And that's good. That's how a pitch should be delivered. If there's no passion behind it and you're like already super,
blasé about it all.
Or jaded, it's not going to help you. People look for authenticity in these moments, and they want to fall in love with you first before falling in love with what you do.
Of course.
So that's the whole moment where you meet all these heroes, and you have to like take them out of their pedestal and to say, listen, I'm doing the work so that we can have conversations and possibly work together. That's
And
a
then
good thing to take in.
And did you just collapse after that? I mean, I can imagine after those 2 days.
I lost 3 kilos during those 2 days because I didn't eat. I didn't want to leave my booth. I want to be there. And I remember the team, Ashling from the LVMH organization team, she was like coming to me. She was like, you're literally skinning down while this is happening. So you need to eat something. They would like bring me snacks and it's so cute. But it's, I didn't want to leave my booth. I wanted to meet people. So I was excited and I'm a very excited person. So yeah, it's a moment where you can make it for yourself. That means several things. That means you can make it to the finals. That means you can meet people that, you know, can launch your business. So many things. Get advice, get feedback. You know, some people who are not even, who you would not think would be attracted to your universe, to the sexy, to the oriental, to the whatever, turn out to be people who are actually really interested. That creates tension. That creates something, you know, that you can take forward. I love that.
That sounds like a epic moment, and I understand exactly why that's an epic moment. And I've been in those rooms and done the tour of all of the finalists, and it is quite an earth-shattering experience for everybody.
You know, you said something. How did the LVMH happen? I want to give credit where it's due because when LVMH happened, I already had won the Fashion Trust Arabia Prize in Qatar.
Yes.
And I was invited there.
Were we there the same year? Did we see each other there?
I don't think so.
No,
I
think
it was in 22.
No, I was there 21. Okay.
That contest is beautiful too. It gives scope to another region of the world. And when I was there, it was for the guest country prize, as I'm French and Turkish. I have both nationalities. So I was invited to apply by Sarah Michault, who's an amazing person. She's
the best.
She's the best, like, because she will see you and she will try to help you get those opportunities and always be chic enough to let you do the work so that it's on you and you can be proud of your achievement. It's not like pushing for you. And she said, just apply, you'll see. And I did. And I was selected by this fantastic jury composed by internationally acclaimed people. And then I went there and just enjoyed the moment. And it was kind of similar to the process of the LVMH prize. And we won. And I was so happy about it. But I met during that process Sarah Moore. Sarah Moore was there for the jury to be reminded by, you know, all the details about each designer. It's like she was kind of this buffer between us and them during the selection process.
Gotcha.
And she was, I didn't think that I had interested in her at all because, I mean,
she
she's
can
British,
keep it very close to the breast. Yeah,
exactly.
very much so.
And a few months after that, she texts me on DM and she's like, can I come see your showroom? Can I come see you? And I was like, of course, please come. And we're having a tour of the new collection. I'm explaining what happened after. And she's like, okay, so have you applied to LVMH prize? I was like, oh shit, I forgot. And I'll do it. And then I got contacted at that moment and they decided that it was probably time for me because it goes through a scouting team.
Sure.
And they were like, we're going to visit you. We're going to understand if you can speak, if you can, you know, are you at ease? But make sure that all these...
You tick all of these certain boxes. Yeah.
Exactly. Because it's about momentum. There's too early for those things. And
yeah, because you don't want to burn a designer too early. Like it can be really damaging if they come and then they disappear. Because they did have some earlier brands where they won the prize and then you never heard from them again. And
this is why mentoring is the most important thing you get from those.
So the 2 Sarahs you have to thank for.
The 2 Sarahs, yes. And there's some more, but
there's some more.
Yeah.
But I mean, definitely those 2 women are powerhouses and so generous and mentors. And
Sarah with Next Gen, with every designer that she visits, takes the time to. Sarah Michault with just her open eyes all the time.
Yeah.
She is in, I don't know how many contests she's
all of the contests
prizes she's doing.
I know,
but she just has that hunger for helping, you know, young voices.
Yeah,
because I think she knows that how you keep the the poll interesting too in a way. Because if the conversation is between like mega brands, then it's a merchandising conversation.
Yeah, it's very much so. Sadly, I would be remiss if we didn't talk about the Andam Prize, the winning the Pierre Berger Award, which is of course linked to Ami. Tell me about that moment. Tell me about what it's going to be like to maybe you've already sat down with Alexandre and tell me all about that because that's huge. I mean, that is a big win.
I'm so proud. I can say it. I'm proud. We are afraid sometimes of that word, but I'm not. I'm really proud because, as first of all, French and Turkish, it means that you're the Andam Prize. First of all, is a prize that's built through the Ministry of Culture in Paris. It means that it's institutional. It's not a group. It says a lot. It says that now Burc Akyol is in the papers of something that is institutionally French. For me, it's often hard to make people understand that I'm French. I have to battle to be accepted as French sometimes. And that's a whole other conversation. But it's so it made me really proud because I was like, okay, I won a French contest. It means that, and you have to be kind of, your company has to be set in France to apply. So I was like, first of all, I'm taking this home for myself. And then second of all, the Pierre Berger Prize is such an important prize. It was built, the Andam Prize was built with Nathalie Dufour.
Natalie's wonderful.
Amazing woman.
Again, a powerhouse.
Powerhouse.
Yeah.
And Pierre Berger.
Yes.
She literally went to him and convinced him to sponsor this.
Yep.
It has legacy in its own. It's just to win that prize at that moment in our brand's history is just an amazing stone to set. And it will help a lot because it's like an easier cash flow at a moment in the company's life. It means that we can start developing certain ideas. And the mentorship of Ami with Alexandre is an amazing opportunity. He won the big prize like 12 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
I was at that one. Yep.
And he's paying it forward. And that's what I want to be doing. That I want to grow up so that I can start, You
want to pay it forward as well.
Yeah, because that's how you get, you keep your hands in the dirt.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like somewhere
Ivory
where I'm
Tower.
not. Yeah. That's not very interesting.
No, not at all.
I want to be part of this community. And it's you're in the community if you start giving back to the community. And he has that generosity. I've visited so many factories where every time I go, people tell me that they work with them and they will say Alexandre is amazing. He's truly a beautiful human. Like I want people to say that about me. It's kind of, you don't have to keep it in check. You either have it or you don't. To be honest. And I like to think that I'm like that with people that I work with. It's a human story. It's first of all people wanting to work together after you can do anything. And Ami, the concept of Ami, when he built his brand, just to be like, I'm going to dress a few friends with what they inspire me to make for them. Yeah. That's how it started. And then it became this huge business today. And also like the fashion shows, the elaboration of the vestiaire and how it's growing. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
And in the current climate, the fact that it's doing as well as it is, I mean, when you see everybody else that's starting to tank,
And he's very generous in conversation. I think he's curious. I think also, it's a bit like Esteban. It's those people. Like it's going to be interesting. We haven't had the chance to sit down yet, but we're planning before the summer to keep the things fresh. You kind of want to get on the saddle as quickly as possible. But we're going to be talking about the work and
as peers.
Yeah, it's and we come from the same idea. Like we're building products first. Again, speak for themselves, and then we're growing the brand with them. It's like we're holding the hand of what we're doing.
I love that. Before I let you go, I have 5 generic fashion questions that I ask everybody. So let me get to those. What is your most prized possession, the thing that you would take with you everywhere, or the thing that you cherish the most?
I don't have anything. Yeah, no, I'm not very attached to objects, or like I like the idea of emptiness, to be able to fill it in with something new, something fresh, something movable. Eternally. Phoenix. Okay, this is not a generic question at all. It's like one of my bosses told me you have to accept the Phoenix concept. I was like, what is that? It's that you have to accept, if you want to do fashion, that you can die every day and be reborn every day. If you forget about like the hurt that your company could collapse and all of that, then you can do anything. And it's about that. Like the concept of emptiness is the possibility of losing everything. So I'd rather not have anything to lose.
Okay.
Not be attached to
I
that.
love it. Not be attached. Okay. The Phoenix Rising. I gotcha. Well, then this next question makes no sense. So, we're talking about fashion and luxury and how everything is, expensive to a certain extent, and people dream about having, a beautiful designer piece. What would you recommend that people take the time to invest in or put their money aside to save up for? Is there a particular piece or a brand or something that you think that people should really save up for?
A happy moment.
Okay.
What makes you happy? What makes you feel the best? It's more that. I could say, invest in your cashmere coat because it's going to last forever. We all know that.
Yeah.
But actually, that's conservatism too. It's not that. It's more like, are you going to be happy wearing this piece even once? Because it can be important. Some people used to shop couture and it was the most sustainable thing to do.
It
was locally produced and they would wear it once, but they would take care of that piece for life. And then it had another life. It had a life of a museum, or it had a life of a patrimony piece, or it had a life of, I'm giving this to my daughter and then to my granddaughter. That has value too. Shop for something that makes you very, very exquisitely happy at that moment. Let's start there.
Great. What trend will you never follow?
I could follow anything and not follow anything. I don't believe in trends. Okay. First of all.
Yeah. In principle.
Not even in principle. I just I'm not that consumer. I don't know. I maybe no, there's no trend. I like to experiment too. I've been through phases in my life. Makeup phases, heel phases.
Okay. So nothing's off the table.
No, nothing's off the table. Okay. No color, no whatever.
Who is your favorite designer, living or dead?
Living or dead? There are many actually, but I think the real balance found in someone, I was going to say John Galliano, but he's such an artist. He's not just a designer. Let's say Helmut Lang. Yeah, he's a good example. Yeah.
What is it about Helmut that speaks to you?
I feel the closest to him in terms of design approach. Very straightforward in the essential of design. And then it's sexy too. It was what I love about him, and that's Melanie Ward in an interview. We were making clothes for sexy grown-ups. And I love that idea of grown-ups. Because, sometimes you get lost in translation when you're making clothes. You're like, I want to speak to the young. They don't have the money to buy what you're doing. Speak to who your customer is actually today, And yes, maybe there's the occasional, my daughter bought some sneakers, by me.
Yeah.
At 800 euros, but that's not your.
They're not going to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
No.
But the grown-ups those are the people you want to cater to.
Sexy grown-ups.
Yeah.
Gotcha. My last question for you is, what do you love most about fashion?
That is a field of possibility. It's everlasting possibilities. It's there's no limit to fashion. We're so permeable, and also we get our wires into other worlds. This is why I chose fashion over another type of expression, is because I find that this is the one that has the most lives. It's like a 9 lives cat, you can do anything with it.
This has been such a delight. I have enjoyed this so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.